Alrighty, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, depending upon when you're looking at this. This is Thursday's math activity, and you've got two things happening today. First thing is working with fractions to plot and analyze some data. In this case, it's swim data. So we'll be working on this one today to start off with. I recommend you do this one first. I'll do problem one and we'll set things up a little bit in here. But yeah, so do this first in your math journal. It's page page 251. And then you've got your quiz on multiplying fractions, which is kind of what we're going to be doing today. So the quiz is in Freckle, and it's 5 questions. And just a reminder, I put it in the Seesaw notes, but just a reminder, or a little something to be aware of. Some of the questions have more than one answer. Alrighty, so first things first, let's take a look at this one. It's plotting and analyzing. Sounds really hard, but plotting just means putting it on a chart or putting it on a graph chart. Um, and analyzing it means looking at it and asking questions and answering them. And it's swim data because it's all about swimming, and there's the data right there. So on Monday, the swim team coaches kept track. So they're keeping notes and all this to the nearest half a mile. So they're only keeping track to half a mile um, of how many miles each swim team member swam. Okay. So they're doing this on Monday and they're only keeping track to the nearest half mile. That's why you don't see any quarters or eighths or anything there. It's only to the nearest half. And so they collected the data. And there it is right there. There's a bunch of numbers. It's data. So it says fill in the missing numbers on the horizontal axis. That's that horizontal horizon of the line plot. So this is the line plot. Then plot the data set. Well, that sounds all fancy, but there's the data set right there. It's a set of data. So, you're going to wind up having a name for your line plot, for your, and it probably has something to do with swimming and all that. And um, you might also have some kind of units down here on this line here. And obviously, you're going to have numbers here and X's above it. So first off, look for the most that anyone swam, and so there looks like 5, right? And so to help out a little bit, I can do a little something here. So I'll put in a 5. I know it's tricky. No charge. There's a 5. Okay, and it looks like they've got 4.5. So maybe that. Okay, then maybe going backwards. Maybe that's a 4. I'm not going to write it. 3.5, 3, 2.5, 2. So the lowest one is what? 2. Doesn't look like anybody only swam 2 miles, but there were some who swam 2.5. So I'm going to put that, and you put the rest of them because I'm going to do problem 1, no charge. So there it is. It says find the difference between the greatest 5, okay, and the least number of miles for each person. So what's the difference between them? So let's see. Some people swam 2.5 miles, right? Some of the members of the team. Looks like 3 of them did. So I put 3 X's. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's where my name goes. Not my name, but the name of the graph that you're doing. Probably has something to do with swimming. And down here, you're going to probably want to put some units. Don't just want to write what I wrote. Put in what the units are. So, gee, what are we talking about here? Okay, so anyway, 3 people swam 2.5 miles, and some of them did 5 miles, I guess, right? Um, there's one right there, and there's another. So 2 of them. So how many X's? 2. So this is a line plot. And then what's my question again? Find the difference between the greatest and the least number of miles. Well, gee, the difference means subtract. So 5 minus 2.5 equals question mark. All right, and then I do 5 minus 2.5 off to the side, and 2.5. And I do some subtracting. All right, well, can I take half from what's essentially 0 there? No, so I have to borrow. So that becomes 4 miles, and that becomes 1 mile. So what's 1 minus a half? 1 minus a half, so obviously it's a half. And then get out your calculator, 4 minus 2. So our answer is 2.5 miles. And that's what they talk about when they're talking about analyzing, this whole analyzing thing. They're just trying to find the difference who swam the most and who swam the least, and what's the difference between it. So I guess it didn't really matter how many of them swam that, but it could be another problem. Ask something about that. Anyway, that's what we do for solving problem 1. Any questions? I'll be online at 1 o'clock. It's getting lonely there. Always like to have someone drop by. 1 o'clock. Same usual channel for signing in. That's it. Bye.